Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ModeCast. We have Jazzy Bear.
Hi.
Britt Tit McGee. No, I'm just kidding.
Hi.
We got Bert, Jay's lovely girlfriend.
Troy got that one stuck in your head, huh?
Yep.
We decided to bring the ladies on and figure out how the hell they deal with us, since we never spend any time with them.
I'm going to say I'm amazing, so Jazzy has no complaints.
I have millions of complaints.
I'm going to take the silence as that you have no complaints.
Whatever you have to complain about, Ryan pleads the fifth.
Ryan, you're just a pain.
I'm pretty sure nobody would agree with you there.
I think everyone would agree with me.
Name your biggest complaint.
Everyone asks me how I deal with you.
Name your biggest complaint.
You're just a pain in the butt.
Okay, what happens when he's not, though? When he's being nice?
It's really weird. It's so weird. Like, the one day he was, like, complimenting me. I'm like, something's wrong with him. Seriously, when do you ever really hear him complimenting me? Usually it's like, he'll compliment me, and then he's like, oh, like, I don't know, it's just like those backhanded compliments.
Because we both do the same thing. We can't say nice things to people.
No.
To their face.
They can't.
So we have to say mean things to show our love, but then to everybody else, we say nothing but nice things.
You know they love you when they start making fun of you, basically.
That's true.
That's their love.
Well, Jasmine gets awkward if I'm quiet. If I'm quiet and nice to her, she's like, I don't like this. Please make fun of me.
Because it's weird. I'm just so used to you always making fun of me, so when you're not, it's like, okay, something's definitely wrong with him. Like, he's mad at me.
When he's nice, it means he's mad.
Yeah, he's mad at me.
Did you guys like how we didn't even give you guys an option to be on the podcast today? You guys just kind of just forced into it?
Pretty much.
Last minute at like 9:30 this morning?
I could have been a dick and said no, find somebody else.
I would have never let you live that down.
I know you wouldn't have. I would have just ignored you, though.
I don't think you could have.
Yeah.
I would
I'm
have
really
just turned the mic on.
Shutting things out and shutting people out.
I would have turned the mic on and just had your face. Britt, why don't you want to be on our podcast? Tell us why, please. I got something to talk to you guys about. So last night, Sabrina was talking about the Bobo doll experiment.
What?
Bobo doll?
I've never heard of that.
Bobo?
Yeah. Our sister Sabrina was telling me about how I should have probably looked into it more when she showed me the video last night. So anyways, it was showing like how like they're comparing the Bobo doll experiment to violence on video games. So basically they'll bring up a video. The video will show first they'll introduce the kid with the Bobo doll. It's like, you know, one of those like clown Bobo dolls where you hit them and they bounce back to you?
Oh, Bobo, like
yeah, so they're playing with it all nice, but then they'll bring the kids back into a room. They'll show them a video of a parent going in there and just beating the crap out of it, like throwing it up in the air, beating it with a hammer. Then they send the kids back into the Bobo doll, and they're like beating the shit of this thing. Like the girl's getting on top of it, like a little 4-year-old girl,
straddling it
with a hammer, like when you're watching these kids, you're like, holy crap.
Some pent-up
So
aggression
they're trying to compare that to like violence in video games, which is dumb because I got curious after Sabrina left. I started like researching it, and it was showing that violence actually decreased since video games has been out because kids aren't in the street; they're taking all their aggression out on video games. But people are still in the news all the time displaying it, like Grand Theft Auto. There's so much for
violence
in the school. Yeah. But then there was a study done, kids up till 8th grade, they do actually show more aggressive, the ones that have played rated R video games compared to the ones that haven't.
Yeah, because they don't have no way of getting it out. Whereas with a video game, you do it on a video game and then...
Well, it's hilarious because you have these, because me and you know nothing about this world, but you can wear those headsets where you sit there and just run your mouth and talk shit to, whoever you're playing against, especially if you're running around playing like a first-person shooter where you run around killing each other. It was like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, even though there's no like true study. I don't know if I would let Landon play. Well, I wouldn't let Landon play video games in general. I mean, you and I weren't allowed to play video games when we were younger. Not because our parents weren't okay with the violence. We never had a gaming system.
So you're never gonna let Landon play video games or anything like that?
I mean, I'm not gonna like say, oh, we can't. I like mine and Jay's childhood where we were always outside playing.
Oh yeah,
and then like
for sure.
I don't know. I had those friends that were like hooked on video games. That was like, it was a chore to get them out of the house and hang out with us. Like, dude, like, no, I got this new video game, and they'd game for like 3 weeks straight until they beat the game. Then they'd come out and hang out with us till the next game came out.
Yeah, I wish as a child I was forced more to go outside and play.
Yeah.
Instead of being unsocial.
Being what?
Unsocial?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I was not
exactly.
a social person growing up.
Yeah,
That was my sister.
We were the same way. We were always outside. Like, we were rarely inside. So I want Landon to have the same experience. Like, I want him to play like those like random games that we would play when we were kids, you know?
But gaming's though is like on another level now.
Yeah.
Though it's no one's. I mean, everyone plays video games now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got iPads in the classes with kids from like
That's trippy.
preschool and kindergarten. We were just talking about this last night. So, like, in a way, you're kind of teaching them all about electronics from the very beginning, rather than let's go outside and play on the playground. They're getting more into the iPads, the electronics of.
They were saying that's cheaper though, instead of books, buying all electronic devices.
I would agree, only because it's probably cheaper to buy the apps for stuff, or I don't know, however they get the material.
No, do you know why? Because they're making the kids responsible if they break them.
Well,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but you think about it this way, too. Every year you have to buy a new set of textbooks because every year they have a new edition of the
They
textbook.
always change it.
And so every year school, to where an iPad, you can buy one iPad and have it sit around for 3 or 4 years and keep using it. And every time there's a new version of a textbook or anything they need to do, they just download it. Granted,
Yeah.
I don't know how much they get charged for downloading that many copies, but it seems like it would be cheaper than having paper because, I mean, when you go to Amazon to buy a book for your Kindle or whatever, it's like quarter the price than the actual book.
I don't know. There's some books still out there that you buy are still like $20 to buy on the bookstore for Apple or whatever. Pretty expensive sometimes.
Can you imagine that nothing's done on paper anymore? All the quizzes, everything's on iPad.
It's pretty cool.
I wonder if they have to block internet access so the kids aren't like Googling something real fast on the iPad.
Well, it's just parental
Well,
settings.
it's also
just
you can lock the screen they're on. You can.
Yeah,
there's
that's true.
You were
Restrictions.
going to the computer lab at school?
Huh?
You were going to the computer lab at school when they would have the certain everything blocked?
Yeah, but there's always that smart kid who knew how to bypass everything.
Well, you're going to come across that, and, that's kind of what you have to expect.
It'd be awesome if they brought back the Oregon Trail for kids.
The what?
Oregon Trail.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is
The
old
old
school.
like Apple computers.
Yeah.
It was like all green screen or. Remember that?
Wasn't
Ours
Apple
was
back in the
orange.
day like crap though?
Yes.
No.
They
No?
were.
I remember Macintosh was like the computer, right? To have.
It was Macintosh.
It's Apple Macintosh.
Well, yes, it's Apple Macintosh, but everyone just called it Macintosh. It was Macintosh.
See how much I know about electronics. I was like, no, that's Macintosh. Oh,
I
man.
remember the little Apple symbol, but everyone called it Macintosh.
It's
Instead of
Apple
Mac.
Macintosh.
Obviously.
But you guys just talked like it was two different things.
Dude, I have no idea. I'm not saying obviously. I have fucking thought it was two different things, 100%.
Oh, let's change. Let's get out of this world since we're all.
I thought for sure it was two different things.
Wait, so I just read about the Bobo doll experiment.
Google
Basically, well, he said he didn't know, and someone has got to do the research.
Google Bull strikes again.
It was an experiment conducted between 61 and 63, and it was exactly what you described. And it was trying to observe basically what they proved is that children learn through observation, and then they imitate. They observe and then they imitate. It's like, well, physically I can see, but do kids actually imitate what they see in a video game? Because if that's true, then they're going to imitate what they see on TV
There
also.
has to be some kids that do.
But I mean, I can see. But I mean, I think a kid can differentiate what's real on TV versus a video game. I know I can't go out in public and just start stabbing people. Rather, when you see it on, I mean, I don't know. Like they saw a grown up, going at this after the same doll they were just playing with. It's like, oh, you can do that with it also. I don't see it as a fact like, oh, you can do that with another human being also. I don't see it that way.
Yeah, it seems like if the experiment was done the same exact way, but with a real person, maybe if they could simulate it a little better, like, so the person's not getting actually beat up, but it looks like, and they have to see if the kid would actually do it then.
Yeah, I think you going up and like watching a human being suffer and then cry out. I don't see a kid being like, oh, this is exactly how it is in the video game.
Plus, it's a game. They're calling it a game. It seems like kids tend to know when it's a game when it's not a game.
The study showed that violence decreased 1% since video games have been out.
1%.
Yeah, he's like, I know it's not that big of a decrease. He's like, but still, he's like 1% is 1%.
I don't understand the whole violence in video games thing. I get like you should not be exposing your kid to a lot of things, but I don't think a 10-year-old should be playing Grand Theft Auto or running around and stabbing and shooting and raping prostitutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't let Atlanta play that. I'm just not a big.
That was a little extreme.
I'm just not a big believer in video games in general. Like, it's so crazy when you watch like kids or like parents tell their kids like, oh, you can't play a video game for all day today. It's like, well, please. It's like literally like you're taking the crack cocaine away from them.
Oh,
I'll do anything. I'll be nice.
iPad away from Silas, he flips out. But I finally started telling him, okay, before I give it to him, you have 1 hour. You understand? 1 hour. He's like, yeah. And then there's no problem afterwards, like taking it away. I would just let him have it forever, how many hours, and it's just like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then he wants it after dinner, and then he wants it before he goes to bed, and it's like, no.
Just get lost searching from different videos to different videos. It's funny how you're talking about Silas, how he watches those like
unwrapping the toys and
dude. Now Landon does it, and now Landon starts talking in like Chinese to us and shit. It's fucking weird.
We're talking to Jessica about that.
Every parent I've talked to has the same exact story that their kid somehow gets on to kids' YouTube and starts going through videos. They start watching those unboxing videos, and then Trisha were you there when Trisha was telling me about Aiden?
No, you told me about it.
Yeah, the English accent.
Oh yeah, she told me about that.
He's watching. Our nephew was watching. Well, he loves Minecraft. He's watching videos on YouTube where people are building their Minecraft villages or whatever they're called, and the guys that were doing it were English, and so he started talking with the English accent because of the videos.
It's pretty awesome.
Because even Silas was watching a bunch of Japanese videos. He started talking
My Little Pony in Japanese.
You know what trips me out though? So I'll get on I'll happen to look at Landon on certain videos, and he's like, a guy like converted his entire house into like little toy like cities, and he's like acting it out, but it's like creepy as fuck because you can tell he's an adult,
right? And
the video has like over 1 million views. I'm like, this guy's making some serious cash on turning his house into like the ultimate like little playground city for toys. It's ridiculous. And then he acts it out like, yeah, I want to go to school today. Okay, let's get on the bus. And then like he takes a little toy on the bus, like creepy as shit. But then I was like, Jay, we should do something like that.
You should turn this into like a Lego city out here.
I could totally get into character for that kind of money.
Have you seen how many views some of those kids' videos have?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they're all adults that do them. It's creepy as shit. Like, I can't.
I'm sitting there watch it, and like you can tell one of us has been watching a lot of the Play-Doh ones where they show you how to build certain things out of Play-Doh.
All about that Play-Doh.
And there's one where it's like you totally tell it's a mom doing it, but the way she was doing it, like I want to shoot myself just by the way you're talking right now. That's obnoxious, but Silas fucking loves it.
Yeah, that little kid voice gets every little kid. It's
a trip just to see how sucked in they get on the dumbest things, because I did not know that if you take a toy and you unwrap it and explain every piece on the inside that the toy comes with and then how to play with it, that would be something that kids want to watch. They're not even playing with toys. They're watching somebody else show you how to play with the toy.
They're watching somebody else play with the toy.
Or those World of Warcraft videos. They take you a tour through the city they built, and Landon's like mesmerized by it.
Was it, Joe Rogan had this gamer on his podcast. Dude makes in the six figures, and he's a gamer, and he makes most of his money from his I forget what the website is that they all stream off of. Basically, they live stream themselves playing video games, and they're like the top. He's like one of the top guys in the world for whatever games he plays, and it's just people watching him play games.
George was talking about that, yeah.
And like he makes a ton of money off the advertising for that, and he has like for himself, he had like 3 million subscribers. Of people that watch him, and then he also does competitions like video game contests, and I just had no idea you could actually make that much money in the video game world.
It's huge, man. They have those competitions that you're winning millions of dollars.
Well, he said the competitions he doesn't really make that much money on. It was his basically live streaming of him playing video games.
So people just literally sit there and watch him play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you think every video, I mean,
because he's the best of the best.
So. World of Warcraft, like that.
Yeah, but every million views you're on YouTube, it's $20,000. So you figure he's got just subscribers alone, and a lot of people won't even subscribe to you that watch it. So you figure he's probably got like 6 million views per video.
Oh, there's a lot of gamers and geeks out there, apparently.
When I found that out, I was like, dang, maybe I should have paid more attention to playing video games when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My sister's ex-boyfriend did that. He'd be holed up in his room and playing like World of Warcraft. But it was funny because me and my sister would go up there and sit with him, and we'd hear him talk because he has the headphones and everything, and he's sitting there talking on like they have the messaging system. We sit there and be making fun of him because of the stuff they're saying and going back and forth, and we're just laughing our asses off in the background, and it's just so nerdy, like the stuff they're talking about. Like, you get over here, I'm going to kill this guy, I'm going to come from the left, you come from the right, and it's like attack mode. This isn't real life.
Well, hey, the biggest complaint with parents is they can't get their kids to eat. They get so wrapped up for days.
Hey, I don't know,
they
maybe
won't
for this society, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, that's true.
All
It's
these
so funny
kids
when
these days.
parents say that to me because there's a power switch.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like the parent doesn't have a choice.
I can't get them to get away from the video game. I know, right? It's crazy. Only if there was a button to turn the game off.
I used to get pissed off at Kevin way back when I was in the Army. And I'd come home on the weekend, and me and him would have plans to go do something, like, oh, we're going to go see a movie or go meet up with some friends or whatever. I'd show up at his house, and he'd be in the middle of playing World of Warcraft. He's like, hold on. And he'd be sitting there. I'd sit there and wait for him while he's running his mouth to whoever he's talking to. And it was all because he had him and his, what they call him, a clan or whatever the hell his little group was. And they had to meet up at a specific time to go do a raid or something.
Clash of Clans?
It was a World of Warcraft
thing.
But whatever you called your little group of people, like a clan or a... No, it's a specific word. I don't know. I don't care.
Oh.
But you crack me up because he had a fucking appointment to go on a raid in a video game. So that way everyone got on at the same time and went and did this little raid. And people were in his group were from all over the
when
world.
it comes to that.
Yeah, that's how you get addicted, though. That's how, what better way to keep your customers attached to your game where you're having meetup spots. You have to be here at 12
I feel like they
o'clock.
feel more important when they have an appointment or a meetup time to get together with these people and raid a city or whatever that's not reality.
Well, it's kind of like, in the same way, I guess, like fantasy football is kind of there right there in the same line.
Yeah, it is. You become so in tune with all the players, and I don't know, it's yeah.
At least it's somewhat real life. I mean, I get it. You're playing, but...
It's more real life than video gaming.
No, but yeah, you're still interacting with other... I mean, I guess in video games you're still interacting also, but I don't know. I feel like fantasy football is nowhere near as bad as gaming.
No.
Well, I don't see it as a bad thing. I think it just... I mean, if you're a football fan, I think it just makes it that much more interesting.
Like, we all have a date and time set where we have a draft. Mine is on the 7th.
Yeah, Brittany's been educating me on fantasy football since I met her, and it cracks me up more and more. I do not have that much free time.
I just start listening to the NFL fantasy podcasts, and then they kind of tell you who to pick, who not to pick, and I just kind of go with their judgment and somehow wing it. Hey, I almost got second place last year. I almost won $500 out of a group of like 6 guys and 2 girls.
Yeah, when you look at the time that you spent doing fantasy football, that $500 is equivalent to like 10 cents an hour.
No, there's no time spent.
I don't even understand it.
No, I don't either. I'm learning a little bit.
It's easy. Well, to be honest, it was a little hard the very first time I did it because I only would watch Charger games, but I wouldn't watch anything else other than those Charger games. And then having to learn every single player and every position and then all the other teams, it got pretty crazy. But it became more interesting because if you like football, you start watching more games. And
Yeah.
But part of me does kind of find it irritating sometimes because I'm just like, okay, I really don't care. But then a part of me is like, I kind of do care. I kind of want to watch all these players and all the teams and see where they go. But then I'm just like, ugh. I battle with myself back and forth.
Yeah, football's fun.
Was it the third podcast in a row we're talking about fantasy football?
I don't know. I think we repeat everything.
That's what happens. We all end up having the same conversations all the time.
Well, yeah, because people hear conversations you have and they want to have a piece of it. So then they want to come on and talk about it.
You know what I should start doing when Jasmine's mad at me? Just put her on a podcast and she'll stay real quiet the entire time. Just not even have it on, have her walk around with me the entire house in the microphone. Just let me do all the talking and just stay quiet. This is a permanent mute button for you.
You're such a jerk.
So, Jasmine, how are you doing over there?
I'm good. I'm enjoying my mimosa.
That's good.
Ryan, what's up with your mimosa?
It's gone.
It's empty.
Who's this?
It's an extra one I was made for.
Oh.
You know the guy who hasn't been able to drink for almost a year? She made one for you.
Horrible girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you can't drink.
It sucks, too, being at a party like last night. A few of the people there, like, oh, you want to drink? Nah, I'm good. And then I try not to say why not, but then, like, she instantly's like, oh, he can't drink. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I can't drink. It's like, what happened? I gotta explain what happened, and
Does
then
it bother you when I say that?
You should just fuck with people and be like, you don't want to see that side of me. I would like
That'd
be
be
like,
pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
you should just start saying it like, because I don't want that drunk to drink
And I
either.
can
Just be
see
like,
people pulling me aside and be like, "What happens when he gets drunk? Like, does he get angry? Does he beat you?"
you ever watch Don't Be a Menace South Central when the girl's in the back of the van? That's it.
I haven't seen that.
Well, never mind.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Where she's on top of Marlon Wayne, she's like, you don't
Yeah.
want to see who happens when I drink.
Yeah.
Like, ah. She turns like a fucking monster. It's hilarious. And then she like rapes his ass.
That just sucks because I feel like I have once I like have to go into explanation. I feel like I have to explain the health risks because if I just say like no, I can't drink, it makes me feel like an alcoholic, which makes me feel self-conscious, and I want people to like be. I don't want to be judged in that sense.
Well, I thought you didn't care what people thought about you.
In a lot of instances, yes, but then I still have problems with that.
I don't care who says that. You're always there's some party
something.
that's gonna care.
Your ego is going to come out at some point.
Yeah, there's no one that can be like, I don't care about anything. Because if you didn't, then you'd literally come out of the house in holy ass clothes.
Well, then plus those are all your friends and whatnot, and I don't want to look bad around your friends. So why would I put myself? I mean, it's just.
Sorry.
She's spilling. I hate when I say stuff like that because it sounds stupid and like I'm trying to like put on another but it's another mask I put on, I guess. It's like we've talked about before.
Yeah.
And it's like not that I'm being dishonest. I just don't want to look bad to make you look bad.
Well, it's like the same people that say like, oh, I don't care how I dress. It's like, well, you're lying because you would, like I said, you wouldn't care how you went out of the
Every time
house.
someone gets up and gets dressed, they care.
When you're, I think more so especially when you're single, because I don't care when anybody says like, oh, it's all about personality. There are certain girls that wouldn't give you the time. Like, I would say most girls, dude. It's very rare when you find a chick like Jasmine. I think find you a sweetheart, but there's no way you talk to me if you met me and I had like holes in my clothes. I'm like, what's up? You'd be like, nothing, not a damn thing.
You got to be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
At least
exactly.
presentable.
It was so funny when I was going to college. There was a math professor I had, and he for sure did not care about whatever he wore because he was colorblind. And his wife bought him all dark shirts and all dark because all he ever wore was t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. That's it. It was always cargo shorts. And his wife had purposely bought him all dark clothes, so it didn't matter what he grabbed, he would match.
That's
Because he's colorblind.
That's pretty good.
So he literally just grabs off the top of the pile, and that's it.
Yeah, I only met one person that wasn't colorblind, and I had a pair of board shorts, and his chick was like, wow, those are really cool. They're like really like colorful board shorts. And then she started explaining to her dude, and I was like really tripped out. She's like, oh, he's colorblind. And I was like, well, why? What's the point of even describing the colors to him then?
It's probably fun for him.
If
'Cause
you're
he-
colorblind, are you just born with it, or can it happen like later in life?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as I know, you're just born with it. But
Look, Jeremy grabs his phone out of instinct. Hey, he wasn't
Mind
even.
blown.
He didn't even look at his phone. He was talking on the mic, grabbed his phone. let me just go ahead and Google this real fast.
I would only say if she's explaining it at some point, maybe he knew what the colors were. But what would be the point of explaining it if he's never seen the color before? But then again, it's just like blind people in general. Explaining colors to them just so they can get an idea. They can make up their own, idea of what the color could be.
Yeah.
So colorblind, or being colorblind is fucking genetic. Or genetic and you're born with it.
Oh, so there's no that it doesn't come later in life at any point. It's always genetic.
That from the one website, which I don't remember what the website was that I just read.
From the minimal research that you just did.
But shitty though as a kid because you don't even know you're fucking colorblind, so you're just going through life having no fucking clue.
From what I understand, there's different forms of it. Like dad's supervisor or my old boss, he was colorblind, and on the screens that we read, everything was either green or red. And it was all of our valves, meaning green that the valve was open and red the valve was closed. Well, he saw everything in reverse. So everything that was green, he saw as red.
Ooh.
I was like, so right now, this looks red to you? And he's like, yes.
Wonder how teachers deal with that. Like when they're like, "This is red." Like, no, sweetie, it's green.
Or like, those, have you seen what the colorblind tests are? Where it's like those bubbly shapes with a bunch of like similar colors, and you have like a number inside the bubbles or whatever?
I know nothing about it.
Are the colors overlapping, kind of?
Yeah, and it's designed because if you're colorblind, you can't read what's inside of it.
Yeah.
Because it's the way your cones and your eyes
The word I'm
receive
looking
the
for.
light, and the color discrimination cells don't work properly. There's some genetic defect and whatnot.
You gonna go make mimosas?
Champagne. You guys gonna get some more or what?
No, I want to hear your champagne story.
Jazz should go make mimosas, and she's over there in quiet mode.
You need another mimosa.
I know.
But you guys gonna drink booze or beer or mimosas?
I'm gonna drink this beer too.
Do you want the rest of mine?
All right, we just...
We can all listen to
Hey,
Jasmine
so-
ejectile vomit when she's like...
Earlier, me and Ryan, we were talking about how the funnest time I ever had drinking champagne was when me, him, and my mom went to some... What meeting was that?
It was for her...
She's like the
Told you it
financial
was
advisor
for-
thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was some financial advising. Basically, we thought it was some meeting we were going to talk about my mom's finances, and really it was a brunch, luncheon thing for that the people who her financial advising company
Just
that they
thanking
put
everybody.
together to thank all their clients. And then me and Ryan got there and found out that there was free champagne, and it was on. Well, first off, it was kind of fucked up because we thought we were going to some meeting in an office with somebody. That's what she described it to us. And so we just wore whatever. We didn't get dressed up at all. And we show up, and everyone there was dressed nice. It was a big...
It's like a
thing.
formal brunch almost.
Yeah, and it was at this nice winery in this big, giant hall. The food was delicious, too.
Wearing fucking shorts and flip-flops.
Was it a winery?
It was at a winery.
It was at a really nice
Yeah,
winery.
Temecula.
Yeah.
Do you know what winery?
No.
Sure. Next question.
Considering that we were hammered within the first 20 minutes we got there.
I know, we got drunk fast. Because another one, after we found out...
Remember we started devil fisting going back. We're like, oh, I don't want to walk back so much
Yeah.
anymore. We already look bad. And then that's when you're like, we already look bad as is, so who cares?
Did you just jack a bottle of champagne off the table or something and just walk around with it?
Well, no, because there was people there, like not really like supervising. They were just like standing there, like making sure people didn't walk off with it.
I was just pretending like I was taking it back for somebody else.
Oh.
But no, and so once it got later into the lunch and like people were starting to leave, like the little attendant was handling the champagne left, and so we started opening our own bottles of champagne. And I opened one up, and I wasn't paying attention, and it literally just shot off, like grazed my face, hits the ceiling, and comes down. Did it hit that guy?
No,
There's some guy
but it
walking out the
ricocheted a couple
door.
times because it hit the door. Remember, it hit that beam next to us.
Oh yeah, hit the
And then
wall, and then came down right as the guy was walking out of the door. And I don't remember if it hit him or not, but it was fucking close.
No, but the best part, I'm trying to open it, and Jeremy's like, it's not going to fucking explode, remember?
Yeah.
So he takes the bottle from me, and then he undoes the top, and it's like, boof! Like fucking, it's like a shotgun. It was funny.
Oh, what did we do after that? We went to the casino after that.
Yeah, kept drinking.
Fuck our mom. Had to go to the casino.
Favorite thing to do.
You were her little sidekick. You loved going to the
I
casino.
know, I loved it.
Was that me, you, and mom that stayed up that one night before going on the hot air balloon? Or did you go to bed with Ryan?
No, remember she
I
slapped me in the
stayed up.
face? You guys
I
came in the
stayed
room.
up, and then as soon as I won, I went back and I slapped Brian with the money.
That's right.
Yeah. It was like 1,000 or 500 or something.
I won 1,500.
Yeah,
Wow.
you slapped me in the face with it. Because I remember I sleep with my mouth open, so you slapped me and the money went in my mouth.
Ew. Did you start freaking out?
Yeah.
Did he start breaking out? Probably.
Oh, that fucking hot air balloon ride. That shit was fun. We should all do that sometime.
I really want to do that.
Like a sunset cruise?
I didn't think that was fun at all.
Cruise?
I didn't like it. I got so dizzy. No, not
Oh, that's
even
right.
dizzy.
You
Well, that's
sat
because
down.
you're fucking tiny.
yeah,
You couldn't
I
even
was-
see over the basket, so I'd be tripping out too.
Yeah. And then I was pregnant too. So.
Oh yeah, that probably didn't help.
Did you when we
Even
posted a
help.
picture online, Kevin's like, someone get Jasmine a booster seat so she can see. All you see is the top of your forehead. I wouldn't have liked that either.
I didn't like it.
Remember I had to lift you up a couple times?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
At
Was the basket that tall?
At the
Yeah,
end,
the basket's like 5 feet.
yeah,
It's tall.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
How
you're
tall are you?
like
5 feet.
5 foot.
Really? Oh, I didn't
she's
realize
5
you were that
foot.
short. Oh, I guess I always see you in heels.
Yeah. At the end, I literally sat at the bottom of the little basket.
Aww.
Just
Like a kid in
until
a
we
corner.
landed.
All right, well, I had a great time.
It was weak though, because this guy, like, you could tell he already had it like set up with his drivers, like where we're gonna like drop the balloon. Like he was pretty good at like reading the air, and all the other balloons were high as shit. And like we were like literally, I don't know what,
Like
50
100 feet, maybe?
100 feet. Yeah, it
Sounds
was,
like
Yeah, and
you
then
didn't have
we
the
went-
best experience on that one. Like it would be going to Del Mar and doing like a sunset one. That would be
Yeah, that's what I really
pretty
wanna
cool.
do.
They go higher.
like if when we first like took off, like we were fucking
we
high
went
as
straight
shit.
up to like, because he said because somebody asked like how high are we? His altimeter said like 800 feet. And
That
a
was
trip.
cool.
We just shot straight up. It was like looking down like, oh. I was pretty high, so.
Yeah, anything to you when you're high is like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, but then he started like literally we were talking to people in their backyard. That's how low we were. We were having conversations with people in their backyard.
Are you
That's
serious?
how low we were.
Yeah, because we were coming by and like because he lives the operator of the hot air balloon. He is local to Temecula, and so he's walking by. He's like, "Hey, Bob, how's it going?"
Yeah, he knew several people, and it was just annoying. And like,
Regular passerby.
there was
or
a few people like that.
balloon.
Like one guy was in his boxers having coffee with his wife, and we're like, hey guys, it's like, oh, dude, we're so annoying right now. This is ridiculous.
I wonder how many times he does that, or if they get annoyed with it.
If I lived in those houses, I'd be throwing rocks at the hot air
What
balloons.
if you wanted to sunbathe
fucking
nude, and then all of a
6
sudden you
a.m.
have a hot air balloon?
Yeah, and literally, it's how that's legal. Like we're literally, there were some points. Remember, we were like I don't know, like 15 feet over the roofs.
Yeah, like real close.
Like really fucking close to these houses.
Wasn't it because you guys had some bad wind that day? The reason for that, or
well,
wasn't
he
there
wanted.
something?
He had an idea of which way he wanted to go,
That didn't happen.
and then he wanted to go in this way, and so he had to find the winds to take him that direction, because as you go up and down, you have different crosswinds. So he's trying to find the right crosswind to head in that direction.
Oh.
And the crosswinds to get him there were really low.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a crappy experience.
I mean, I thought
Yeah.
it was really cool, but it could have been way better. Like I thought we were gonna be way up in the air,
Yeah.
like 1,000 feet or whatever.
Would
Yeah.
you be willing to go on a sunset one, Jess?
I would. And I think with that one too is like we were just going over like people's houses. Like I didn't like that. Like you saw the other hot air balloons and they were going over like
The
the
cliffs.
Mountain.
the
Yeah.
mountains.
Then we can
and-
bring you a stool.
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
her
bring me
walking.
a
You know
I mean,
those
it would probably help you out.
Spice
probably get
Girls,
us sick.
the Spice Girls fucking heels. I'm gonna have you wear those. The fucking 5-foot wedges.
Some stripper heels.
What were they called? Like sodas?
Yeah,
That's what they were called.
Yeah.
The brand?
it's pretty bad. I know.
Yeah.
Dude, what if we come to
Oh,
find
yeah, I
out
remember
that
those.
guy works for some real estate firm and he just
Remember
like
soda-
doing
I never
advertising,
wear
just taking
heels,
people
so-
over fucking houses?
Like,
He
I don't
knew
know.
all the prices too. That's funny though. He did all the houses that were for sale. Remember?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good little gig. I don't see like there being like real money in owning a hot air balloon business. Like
We got to figure
how many workers he had?
people-
He had there was 2 guys driving the van, each van. Oh, and the truck, and there was a little Jeep. Remember that had more people.
Let's
And
say you do that. It seems like they do it once a week. That's what it seems, or maybe every Saturday, Sunday.
How many
Yeah.
people does it fit?
Because there was what
There,
four,
there's 4 separate, like it was
4 of
one
us.
big basket, but there was like 4
Compartments?
individual
8.
baskets you sit in.
and there
Okay, weird.
was I think 7 of them. So there's like 15 is the one in our basket,
Yeah.
and then in the other basket there was like another 6 or 8 people, something like that.
Yeah, it was
And
a-
you figure out what it was like $75 to $100 a person.
Yeah.
And then you're doing it, it's for, you figure if you pay, let's say 5 guys, $10 an hour, $15 an hour, and you're doing it for what, maybe like 4 or 5 hours?
And then we went through 2 bottles. Remember, at one point he had to fucking hurry up and switch bottles.
Yeah. So, I mean, he probably half of the money he takes in, he probably profits on.
Yeah.
Plus, he's been doing it for it seems like a passion of his. He's been doing it, he said, for like 25 years.
They say you should do races. There's hot air balloon races where you have to meet at certain like checkpoints. So you gotta like be able to read the winds.
That'd be pretty awesome to be racing in hot air balloons.
Yeah, well, it's
It's pretty fascinating if you think about it, because you really have no control. You have to do. I mean, you're depending on reading winds.
it's almost like you have to just have a shit ton of experience and like an awesome intuition.
Yeah. I'd wing it every day. Like, all right, let's see if I can go this way.
I really want to do that sunset cruise. That'd be fun.
Puppy.
Yeah, she always gets out.
She ran away yet?
No, she just chills right here. She knows not to go anywhere. She's got it good here.
Ryan's little tiny lab puppy.
I hear it's because you spoil her.
I'm telling you, she sleeps on Ryan's neck.
Aww. It's
And then
cute
she
now.
chews on my hair.
Hey, she talks crap. All right, we have 1 dog, so now she's like, "Oh, we need 2 to keep Chewy company." Chewy's pissed since we have this dog.
Yeah, he
He has to
actually
share
kind of
attention.
is.
He has to share attention.
Well, once the baby gets a little bit older, they'll be able to play.
Oh, she plays with him all day. Bites the shit out of him.
Chewing on the.
Well, what's he gonna do? She's 6 inches tall.
Jasmine, I got an idea. Let's talk about how you wanted to plan for a wedding, and it's taking you like, I don't know, a year, and your decisions keep changing.
Sounds like you guys are about to have a wedding here.
Yeah, apparently. It was a destination wedding. Then it was in like Ventura.
It's because I'm so cheap. That's
Then it
what
was-
is. I'm
hey,
so cheap.
Hey,
like,
and then
I
she wanted to
keep-
go to Pismo.
Hey, growing up, did you ever have this
hours,
idea of a
whatever it
grand
was.
wedding as a kid, as a girl?
No, she's horrible with this stuff.
Were you
yeah,
ever
this-
one
it's
that
just not
planned your
my
wedding
thing.
from? No.
It's not my thing. But the more that like
What?
I'm seeing like different like venues and then like talking to people, I kind of do want to have like a nice wedding. Like,
Where you can enjoy it with all your family.
yeah, like I want all my close friends and family. But at the same time, I don't know, I get really embarrassed. Like I don't care to be center of attention or anything.
Do you feel
Like it's really.
Well,
I
to
feel
be
like
honest,
having a
you
big
won't be
wedding-
the center of attention. Ryan will be the center of attention.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So literally, Britt, like when you started dating Jay, that's when our house finally started getting like a little bit of decoration. She's horrible. Like, anything like girly.
Do you guys
besides
see how
getting
he's
dressed,
like so mean to me?
besides getting dressed or like putting on makeup, there's no girly there.
Well, how long have you guys had the house?
4 years.
All right, so
Yeah.
it's probably going to be, what, 7 or 8 years before I start decorating?
Yeah. There's nothing, and there's not one thing hanging on my walls.
Really?
Wait, hold on. There is one
You
thing.
guys
There's
got
one
that
thing.
place. You guys are like, I'm gonna make it like country style. Or
I'm sorry.
whatever.
There's 2 things hanging on our walls.
I wanted it rustic,
Yeah,
but he feels rustic is going to end up being country, and he didn't want country.
No, everything she showed me was country.
It was like wood. It was wood tables. It was rustic looking. That's fine. I'm not going to put up pictures of cowboys and boots on the wall.
It was getting pretty close. It was getting close.
I'm like, but I like that old antique wood, style for.
And of course, I like everything modern.
Same here.
You know, it was bad with me not decorating when Ryan literally called Andy and told Andy told Andy that he needed to take me.
I keep hearing
shopping.
that about Andy. That
Dude, he's the
So
shit. If anyone
take
out there
Andy.
wants a good interior decorator, Andy Puso.
I'm about ready to call up Andy.
everything
Come
that I
help me
have
now.
on my walls, I think Andy picked out.
Well, he doesn't like the whole words like live, laugh, love, all that kind of crap.
But she wants to go and like. Well, actually, I'm gonna talk shit on you guys too. She wants to go and just grab something off the shelf that's like a quote, and I was like, "Why don't you go have something made that's original? That's some shit that somebody else wrote." And
If
It's true.
I'll probably just find something
Like
online
Jay
to have
Money
written,
is the
like-
man. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
No. No, I mean I'll probably find something online, like a quote I like, or I don't know. Like I can't think of stuff like that. I don't have the brain to sit there and write down poems or words. It's not me. Sounded really bad.
That sounds really bad. It's okay.
If I only had a brain.
It's okay. Jasmine just uses our gay friend to take her interior decorating.
Who?
Andy.
Andy. And see, and then like I have a vision of what I want, but then when I look at price tags and stuff, I'm like, ooh, like
Yeah.
I can wait on this.
Pinterest.
I can do this later.
I have my ideas, but
Jasmine's
I
a tightwad
can't
though.
just-
I
by
am.
spending
I really
money.
am.
I can't justify spending money on decorations when there's other things we could be doing with that
No,
money.
because with decorations, I don't feel comfortable in my home unless it's like it's.
Ryan
decorated.
wants our house
I
to
get
feel
it.
cozy.
Yeah,
And I
don't
get
care.
it.
Is that
I'm
gay?
all for that.
I don't think so.
I'm all for that, but I also kind of, from the ground up, would have probably chosen a different couch or anything to make it more cozy, but we just kind of went with what we got. Not
I
that
like
I
our
hate the
couch.
couch. Huh?
I like our couch.
I don't know.
Our
Not
couch
that
is
I hate
awesome.
the couch.
Like it's weird. Like when we first bought the house, like it was like real open, and like it doesn't feel cozy. Like not like cluttered, but I like decorations. So,
The
like,
leather
little,
one
like,
that-
like little like tables and like I don't know
You want the space to be filled.
exactly. When it's like too open, it's like dude, this it just looks like
I don't know. See, with
I love
too
the
much
openness.
clutter, yeah, I like the openness, being able to walk around. I'm a minimalist. Let's put it that way.
yeah. But is my house cluttered right now?
No,
That's what I'm saying. All I would like is like in table. Like I like
you like
stuff
things
to like fit-
placed
Yeah, exactly.
that make the room how it should look.
Yeah.
Ryan's girly.
I'm
She's-
sensing this.
Brittany's slowly turning into Ryan.
Oh,
It's getting bad.
With cleanliness.
Look, when I first met her, she like never made her bed, and I made her like make her bed every morning because like no,
hey,
it feels
I
good to
was
come
single.
home. No, it feels good to come home and have your bed made.
I
And
just
now-
figure you're gonna sleep in it anyways. In the
Now she
night.
freaks out if the bed's not made. Or like because I always leave my crap on the coffee table because I'm going to use it again. Like at night if I go to bed and I have a water bottle, I'll leave it there.
No.
So I can get up and drink it the next morning.
There's always crumbs.
Crumbs where?
You eat in the bed, you
table.
dirty fuck.
No, not on the bed. He's talking about the table.
Oh,
There might be crumbs on the table.
There,
But I can't see when I go to bed.
come home. There's the laptop. There's all the equipment for this, and there's water bottles. There's this pad of paper and pen, and then like crumbs and just stuff like. Which okay, it doesn't bother me. I know he's gonna come back the next night and work on it, but for some reason, I have to move things around.
you
to
can't
make
say it
feel-
doesn't bother you, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, but I move everything."
No, it doesn't bother me that he's doing it. I'm like not mad at him, but for some reason with me, it's just like I can't stand looking at it. Like I have to.
Yeah, like me, it
Move
bothers
things-
you.
I have
Well, it's
to
so
move things
annoying though
around.
because I have like my workstation set up, and I'm like, so all I have to do is come back and sit right back down. But I can't because I have to go put everything back where it was, reset everything up, and then get back to work.
It's funny because I think that, and I know that when I go to do it, but if something takes over me and I just have to take the water bottle, throw it away, do something with it,
See, that's what you need. That's what you need in the loft. You need a computer room up there.
It's so hot up there, even with the AC on.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking.
Then it kind of got taken over by Silas and his trains.
See, Jasmine's on my level though. Cleanliness. She's always cleaning now.
Yeah.
Well, it just gets to the point where, like, I was telling her, because she's never had her own place, so finally, like, everything is hers.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have to worry about my opinion or anything, because when well, not you, but when a normal person has a roommate, the common area is, like,
Normal person.
Yeah. When a normal person would have a roommate, it's the common areas you don't treat like your own space, because the common area, you're not going to do a bunch of work for somebody else.
No, that is true, because before me and him moved in with each other, living at the apartment I was in with my friend, in a way I wasn't as anal about stuff like with the kitchen, dishes, or whatever cat hair may have been in the living room. Except that stupid cat would wake us up in the middle of the night, come meowing at the door. One morning, my door was cracked. It wasn't shut at the time because it couldn't close. This cat walks in the room, freaks the hell out of me, is sitting right in front of my face and meowing like crazy. And the next thing I know, I wake up, it's sitting on my back. It's just laying on my back.
I hate cats.
I love cats. I don't mind cats.
Fucking hate them.
But that cat was super needy. She was treated like a princess.
Yeah, I like needy animals, so if I can find a needy cat, I wouldn't mind cats. But I don't like
those independent
yeah, it's
little
like, I don't
cats
need you. Just pour my food and get the fuck out of here.
Hisses at you, bites at you.
I like when they play fight. No, but I want like something that like needs me. Like they know that I come home and they're like, "Oh, pet me."
Is that why you like a little puppy?
Yeah,
That's how the cat I used to have was, Mary Jane. Or not my cat, but the cat I was around.
she wasn't needy.
For me, what she was. When I
But
got home from work, I don't know where she would come from, but I would sit down on the couch and open a beer, and within 5 minutes of me getting home, she would be sitting next to me on the couch. Or lay on my lap or whatever. Like every time I was around, she always came running for me. Or the other awesome thing is she actually.
That's because you were smoking pot. She liked weed.
Oh.
That's not the first time that's happened.
So
With that?
Yeah.
Really?
Remember I bought a new glass with him.
So my puppy just broke Jeremy's smoking
It
device.
slid off my lap, didn't it? All right, I cleaned up my my glass mess, but I have no idea what we were talking about. So moving on.
Now he has edibles. Now he can't take a hit every 10 minutes.
Ryan was telling me a badass story about Dodge Driver doing a burnout down the street.
No, so I was walking Landon this morning, and this guy fucking, I hear, whoop, 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 whoop. So I start looking in the street, and he's fucking going sideways. He probably did easily a 300-yard burnout. It's fucking amazing.
Those things are so light, and all the weight's in the front from that damn motor. So the rear end just slides out. Because I was watching, there's a show that this guy Tanner Faust used to host on Speed Channel, I think, or some shit like that, called Supercars. And he basically just test drove supercars. But he was up at Willow Springs. He met a friend over at Willow Springs, the track up there, and they were racing Subarus, their drift car, because he's a rally racer. They're racing their rally cars around the track. And he forgot. He's actually driving his friend's car, and he forgot to warm up the tires, and he ended up sliding sideways like 120 down the track because he never warmed the tires up.
Oh, fuck that.
And not to mention he's in a race car. The car's probably worth a few $100,000. But then he pulls out his Viper, and he's going to race his friend in the Viper because the Viper is supposed has a lot more power. Could not keep up with the Subaru because of the handling of the Viper, because it just has so much power, and that rear end just slides around like crazy. It was a trip to watch him drive it, though, because he could barely make it through the track because he was trying to keep up with the Subaru, and he couldn't keep up.
So the handling on those things are just garbage?
I'm going to say it's garbage. Just, it's not premium handling.
Yeah.
I want to be able to race a car around a track. 'Cause you can do that. You can actually get in the car, be the driver, like on a NASCAR track.
Yeah.
How much money would that be?
I want to say it's like 100. I don't know. You find them on Groupon or.
The things I see on Groupon, it's like with the Groupon, it's like $200.
That's not bad.
Oh yeah, no. Okay,
I would think it'd be way more than that.
Yeah.
I still want to go to K1 Speed. I still haven't done that either.
Dude, we should totally do that.
Have you guys done that?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, those things go fast. For as small as the track is, they're fast. And you really have to control the car because you will get sideways, flipped around, and you've got other people coming around the corners super fast. And they tell you not to bump into everyone, but it's super hard not to because the track is that small.
It's like going to Boomers. You're going to fucking bump into everybody.
Oh, everyone does it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because all the people are trying to yell at you.
Well, because they're too
Haul
fucking
ass
slow.
by
That's why you're trying to bang into them to fucking get them out of the way.
Well, then trying to add excitement to it.
Yeah.
But
You're going like, what, 10 miles an hour in those things?
When I read about the...
I hate the ones
I
that
think they're like 7 miles an hour.
Really?
Really,
Yeah.
7 miles an hour?
Things are slow.
That's how it is though. When you're younger, though, everything seems bigger and faster.
True. For
the-
kids, that's fast.
But the kid one, those are supposed to go like 50 or 60, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. They go fast.
No way.
Trust me. But it's crazy because, I mean, it's been a while. It's been a what?
She says, "Trust me." It keeps going.
It's been a while.
50 or 60 miles an hour? No way.
Well, I don't know exact, but I want to say yeah.
So I'm gonna say like
It
25.
could be going 20, 25, and I think it's really fast. But no, I mean, last time I went was like 4 years ago. It was with my work. It was one of those team building things, and the track's just so small that for a car that fast to be on it, I feel like the track should be bigger. But from what I remember, it was a blast.
It's expensive, like right, like $20 a race or some shit.
It could be like $45, depending.
And so
you,
like,
like-
you're only going like 6 laps,
I
right?
want to say you pay for like a license.
They
You
go
get your-
45. Yeah, you do have to
Yeah.
get a license.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, my buddy was saying that like
I'm surprised you haven't done it.
just driving the car like 3 times. He's saying you'll spend easily $100 in there. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's just expensive.
Blast though.
Jasmine is over there chugging her beer, thinking this is gonna make her talk. Really hammered. I'll definitely talk now.
By the time you go to work, she'll be shit-faced.
Jasmine, would you be down to do K1 Speedway?
I would be. Sounds like fun.
Did we all just make plans
We did,
that we'll probably
just
never
made a
follow
date.
through on?
probably,
I don't
along
know.
with the hot balloon, air balloon.
It's our
for
issue
that.
with everything though. If we can find a babysitter,
Yeah.
The life of having kids.
I would just make sure I keep paying Sabrina good money so she'll keep coming back. Like last night, I think she watched kids for like 4 hours. Give her 50. That's not bad.
Yeah. I wrote a check for 40, and then Ryan's like, "You need to give her more." So, I mean, she deserves it, though. She definitely
Yeah.
deserves it. Especially like, it's like a Saturday night. She could be out with her friends, and so.
Dude, anyone that
Definitely
watches
deserves
my
it.
kids, I always make sure they watch them like when they're about to go to bed. So like, oh, they were good. I'm like, yeah, of course they were good. They were sleeping the entire time.
Sleeping, yeah. I remember the first time ever watching a baby. Well, it was my niece. It was like 3 or 4 months ago. She stayed the night with me. My sister drops her off. My mom had come over for a little bit. My sister drops her off and leaves me with a dirty ass diaper, just straight up the worst I've ever seen as far as changing diapers. But she's a great baby. Like, she wasn't fussy. She was in the middle of teething. But it was like every 3 hours you had to do something. Every 3 hours. So mentally, my brain was like, all right, that hour was done. I'm like, all right, 3 hours, I have to do this. And then like sleeping, I couldn't sleep. 3 hours, every 3 hours, I had to make sure in the middle of the night to feed her and change her. And that's why I couldn't sleep, because I knew I had to get up in 3 hours. I'm just like, I can't do this. I'm like a time frame of every 3 hours doing something. No.
It's definitely hard.
The first 3 months, though, I think like the infant stage is super easy because all I do is sleep the entire time. But like 3 months and up, it turns into an.
And they get all fussy and teething and.
Well, and then you can't wait to the point where they start walking and you can actually like, all right,
Do
come on, let's go.
something.
I think that was my favorite part when I decided to start walking.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, you don't want them to start walking. It's like, why? Because
yeah.
you don't want to make your life easier.
I never understood those arguments. Every time, I had so many people that had kids like, oh, once they start talking, they're never going to stop. You're going to regret it. Once they start walking, they're going to get into
I would have
everything.
to
You
agree
regret
with
it.
that.
No way, because as Silas has gotten older and he could do more of his own stuff, like it's gotten easier and easier.
Yeah.
As soon as he started talking, it got easier because I could understand what he was trying to tell me. As soon as he started walking, he was able to start getting his own stuff and start doing his own things, and he enjoyed it because he feels more independent.
Well, although true, when they do start talking, like especially at Silas's age, they love to ramble about nothing. So all you really have to do is go, really,
That Louis
All day.
C.K. bit.
Really.
Can't stop and listen to every goddamn thing this kid has to say.
Look at
Smiling
she's 5, and I could literally have never listened to a word that's come out of her mouth, and nothing would be different. It's so true. Okay, there might not be a podcast where we don't talk about kids.
Well, it's your lifestyle. It's your life. It's part of who you guys are.
Yeah. Well, I think if I didn't have kids, it would just be talking about me going to a bar every night.
Getting drunk, shit faced.
I don't know what I would do nowadays without a kid if I did not have a kid, since I don't go to bars anymore.
Well, yeah, we were talking about that the other night. Like, if you had never had a kid, where would your life be?
Not here. Well, I mean,
We were just talking about that too. Remember, we were by the beach, and we were saying how, what would we be doing right now if we didn't have kids?
Yeah.
Would you be the person you are today, or would you not be?
I would be a worse. I would definitely be a shittier person than
Do you
I
think
am
you
now.
would have less patience? Do you find that you have more patience with being a...
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You have to. But what's weird though is I've obviously developed more patience, but I don't think patient-wise has changed with adults. Because now that I've dealt with kids, I expect more out of adults.
Yeah. Oh,
So I think my patience is shorter now with adults. Because before, with dealing with people just aren't getting it, or if I'm trying to explain something at work and somebody's just not getting it, I used to be like, all right, I'd be able to still walk them through. But now that I have kids, it's like, how are you this fucking stupid? You can't, not talking about my kids, I'm saying with a person though, how are you this fucking stupid? My son would have already understood exactly what I'm trying to say right now.
Yeah.
And he's 2.
Yeah, you meet those people that you wonder how they've made it this far in life.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm going to say yes, it's gotten better, but at the same time, no, because now I get more irritated with people. There's no way you're this dumb. You're fucking... Yeah. You're in adulthood, and how have you not killed yourself yet?
How do you survive?
And I really wonder how terrible of a person I'd be, because I was telling somebody the other day that having a kid has definitely made me a better person, 100%.
How so, though?
How I treat other people, how I look at other people, because I don't get so irritated with people after having a kid, because like I said, I've said before, when I see people get angry or frustrated and they act like assholes or whatever, it's more like they're throwing a temper tantrum.
I'm talking about dealing with dumb people on a regular basis. I'm saying, has your patience changed there?
Yeah, I have more patience. You say you don't have less patience, I have more patience.
I have zero patience.
I have a lot of patience,
I thought that I would, but
especially dealing
where I
with
work.
Yeah. Yeah, Jasmine has a lot of patience. 3 kids.
Yeah.
And an asshole.
I have 3 boys. Yeah, that's not easy.
And an amazing one.
I just think I wouldn't be as nice as I try to be now without Silas. Then having him around has forced me to work on my patience, because just dealing with a child is very frustrating. It's so easy to get mad at them, and it's you're expecting them to understand everything that you understand. You're expecting them to be at your level of thinking. At least that's the way I am a lot of the times. And I get really frustrated, and then I have to talk myself down. No, you're dealing with your damn son. You have to teach him how to do all this.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand it yet. You have to walk him through it. And it gets frustrating when he doesn't want to pay attention, though.
Yeah, I feel I'm opposite then, because I feel like I'm like that. It's really easy for me with little kids because I understand it. But like I said, with adults now, that's when it gets difficult.
Yeah, I like the way Joe Rogan put it, because he was talking about how he sees, after having kids, he sees everyone as a baby now. He just looks at everyone as a baby. And I find it easy to see it that way, because that's why when people get angry and frustrated, they start going nuts. It's oh, you're just throwing a temper tantrum. What the fuck's wrong with you? Control your emotions.
Yeah.
Every time I see someone yelling yelling at me in the car, maybe I accidentally cut them off or something. It makes me laugh.
Like the teenagers in the car last night.
That was just funny. We were coming home from our friend's party, and these it's mid-90s Isuzu Rodeo that was just beat to shit, and the people driving it were just driving the shit out of the car.
They smash it every time they take off from a.
But we pulled up next to him, and it's just full of teenagers. I looked over her and made me laugh, and so we got on the freeway and started racing them.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, Jeremy, how fast are you going right now? 100. I'm like, okay, you can slow down now.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But there are times when he'll be on the freeway and I'm tripping out because he's driving fast or he's weaving in and out. But with having been in the car with him so many times, it's almost like you kind of just have to let it go. I'm he's going to drive how he drives. So I just have to just be all right, whatever. We're going to go 100 right now.
I don't ever get road rage. That's one thing that's never really consumed me. I remember driving with Jazz, little fucking angry little midget over here. She'd be totally in the wrong. She'd cut somebody off and be like, fucking asshole, you fucking see that? I'm like, dude, you fucking cut him off. What are you talking about?
You're one of those.
She's been in 5 accidents. Just throwing that out there.
One of them was Jeremy?
What?
Didn't you back into her?
No, Jeremy backed into me.
Yeah, and then didn't even give me a choice. Hey Ryan, just to let you know I backed in your car. It's fine though. There's a couple scratches. Then left. Maybe I don't want those couple scratches in my car, you dick.
I told him to let me know.
No, we didn't. If I told you, hey, I want those scratches fixed, fuck you.
I would have went and bought some paint.
Yeah, exactly. The little pin.
Do it yourself.
You know the story when Jasmine hit the fire hydrant out front, right?
I think I heard about it. Yeah, she backed into it, right?
No.
No?
She drove straight into it.
I couldn't see it.
Hey, and this is what happened. Hey, when I heard it, It was like boom, the whole house
so
rattled.
Embarrassing. All the neighbors came out. Like it sounded like it was like a
It was
huge accident.
I thought it was an
The water
earthquake. I thought it was an
starts spraying out of
earthquake.
it?
No.
Oh,
so
that would've been
I
even
grabbed
better.
Landon. Landon was like, I don't know, like 6 months this time. I go out front, and she's like trying to drive away, but the axle's broken. So it's just going straight. The wheels like turn on one side, and the other one's just going straight. So I come outside. She's like, she starts crying. She's like, "You're mad at me, huh?" And I'm like, "I just don't know what to say anymore. You've wrecked so many of our cars. I don't know what to say." That was $4,000 worth of damage that she did, just running straight into a fire hydrant.
Oh. The most damage I had on my Ford Ranger. It was like 2,000 something. Somebody sideswiped me and my axle was broken. But that was about the most damage I've had. The only actual accident I've been in, but I wasn't driving, was the one when we got sideswiped.
No, we get sideswiped.
Well,
Yeah,
T-bone.
T-bone, sorry, not sideswiped, T-boned. If I hadn't yelled at something at him while driving, then we probably actually would have literally gotten T-boned.
Yeah, because she screamed because she saw the car coming. I didn't see it. And so I swerved to the left, and then it caught me as I swerved.
And there's this car sitting on the other side, going the opposite direction, waiting for the light to turn green. And as he slightly swerves, we were inches away from this guy's bumper. He's probably sitting there in his car at the light, like seeing this car coming at him and this other car about to T-bone us, and he's just like,
So the car at your side?
yeah. It hit his front, the passenger side tire area, the wheel
Yeah, pretty
well.
much, she drove, because I swerved, she drove right into my passenger side tire, front tire.
You know what's funny is you ask where I'd be at now if I didn't have kids. I asked myself where I'd be if I didn't have Jasmine. Probably a lot richer. A lot more money in the bank. Just accidents
You know
alone.
what he used to? Well, he's still kind. Well, he haven't said it lately, but he always says, "If I was single, my pockets would jingle."
That's bullshit.
Pockets would jingle.
No, they wouldn't.
How is this?
He out at the bar
You were
spending more
always
money.
broke.
Yeah, I went out a lot.
Especially when you lived in the hood on the edge of downtown, you were always at the bar
Yeah.
with your fucking Tokyo teas. We already went over the Tokyo
Oh my
teas.
gosh,
I
Tokyo
love
teas.
Tokyo teas. Yes, Ryan.
See, you like it because you like the taste. I liked it because I was like, oh, I'm broken. I'm trying to get
because it was
hammered.
straight alcohol. There's nothing in it. It's straight
Yeah, it's
alcohol. So
alcohol in the core.
two, 3 of them, you're golden. That's all I needed.
Three of them, I'm like, fucking, yeah,
Well,
I'm blacked out, like
Long
crawling
Island
home.
was my drink of choice, and then I found out about Tokyo teas, and I'm like, sweet, this is all alcohol. I don't have to have the filler, that sour crap that's in the Long Island. And then 1, 2, 3, and I'm good to go.
Isn't it funny when you're younger, like literally everything involved in just what can get me drunker faster?
Cheaper.
Yeah. Now I'm like, I don't want to. I would never buy a Tokyo tea now. That's fucking ugh.
I started
I know,
getting
I
fancy
might.
with my drinks. Go get my vodka sodas.
Yeah.
I was 7 and 7 for a while after Long Island's.
Jasmine's Mexican, so she likes her Coronas.
I do. I can't even hang anymore though.
Nobody can. Nobody have kids.
Yesterday at dinner, Ryan made me take a shot of sake, and I was like done. Just one shot.
Yeah. I drove, so I had 2 beers, and they were like, him, Karen, Jose, him, pointing at her. They were hammered. They took a couple shots of sake each and 1 beer, and they were like shit-faced. I had to drive them around.
So, me and Brittany were talking last night, and like my opinion, since I quit drinking, my opinions on things have changed so vastly. And like being at a get together where everybody's drinking, you have the kids around and whatnot, that really didn't bother me. But I like when we were talking about with Kevin and Rhiannon, how they're Kevin's brother.
Yeah.
Hide the drinking and
Yeah,
and
like
stuff
him
from
and his girl, or his wife, they don't drink they don't get shit faced in front of their kids. They don't smoke in front of their kids,
Yep.
and I kind of like the idea because you're not familiarizing
Yeah, I
them
saw the true effect of that last night.
with that.
Of
And,
the opposite of it.
and being around people who, being sober around all this is like changing. Because when I was drinking before, I never noticed any of it. I was drinking, having fun. Didn't notice what was going on with the kids. Like I made sure the kids were okay, but I didn't really pay attention to what was actually happening.
Yep.
And like last night, sitting there watching this happen. Like a friend showing one of the kids how to pop a beer bottle, the top off a beer bottle.
That by far was the worst situation I've ever seen, only because of their situation, where this kid came from.
Well, I don't want to go into details about anything, but yeah, like a friend of a friend showing showing a kid how to pop the beer bottle off the top of a beer bottle. It's like, well, that's not something you should be showing a 10-year-old.
No.
And then involving them in the game of beer pong. Like to where they're helping pour the beers in the glasses, and then they're actually participating in the game. Obviously, not drinking the alcohol, but they're being a part of the whole
That's
situation.
ridiculous. Oh, we're involving them. It's like, no, you're being a douchebag right now.
Well, it's weird because before, like, I would have felt the same way, but now looking at it from a sober point of view, it's like, no, you're conditioning them to be okay with this.
You know me though. I've never done that stuff.
Yeah, you've never been okay with it. But for me, I never saw that. I was never able to see this side of it, and I feel like a fucking hypocrite even talking about it this way because I did all that already. I mean, I would never have like showed Silas how to open a beer or played a game with us, but I would have played it right in front of him and drank right in front of him like nothing. It was just weird watching all that because part of me wanted to just be like, no, you cannot let them fucking participate in this. But it's like, you can't do that with other people's kids.
Nope.
And of course, everybody's already drunk, so I would have just caused a huge scene and drama. And it was just a trip to sit there and watch it. And I couldn't believe how offended I was getting about it.
Just so douchey. I mean, I don't know. It's not like well, Brett got like, you know, he took what we were saying and. What was that?
Sorry,
Was glass in your foot?
I didn't realize I had something poking me in my sandal. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was a piece of glass.
Oh, I see it on your foot. Yeah, it's like
It was an
indented.
imprint because it was underneath my strap.
Oh my.
I was wondering, I'm surprised I'm not bleeding. I was like, what is poking me?
No, like Brett thought like when we were talking about that last podcast, Brett thought that like they just hide it from the complete. It's like, no, they'll have a beer or two. They just don't get to the point where it's like any sort of drunkenness comes about.
Then, well, Brett doesn't really understand. He wasn't understanding binge drinking. He thought just like getting drunk for a night was binge drinking. No, it's like, no, binge drinking is when you party for a couple days straight. Because that's what, I mean, hell, that's all I did was binge drink. As soon as the weekend hit, it was like, if I would, like, just let's go drink. Or, you know, every activity we did had to, you know, allow drinking. God, I used to get so offended if we were going somewhere where we couldn't drink.
Yeah, I never fucking Jeremy. I saw Jeremy the other day. I was like, God, now that I go places I hardly ever drink, because Jeremy was always like, hey, so we can get beer? Like, yeah, I guess we can.
I didn't even notice what I was doing. I just...
Something, yeah, like I said, something you did.
Yeah, it was kind of standard routine. Booze. It is weird now sitting, like, going to events like that where, like, you watch the transition of people, like the whole crowd going from sober to drunk. I like when what I was explaining to you at Abe's bachelor party. Being out at the bars in PB, and it's like just watching everybody go from sober to drunk. It was like, it was a weird...
Well, because it's so quiet, and then it goes from everybody fucking yelling, trying to get their point across.
And just like, because everybody's mannerisms change, you know, their obviously tones of voice change, everybody starts talking louder, you know, people start slurring, just the whole environment. It was a weird, it was a trip to watch. It wasn't negative or anything, it was just fun. It was, you know, something I never experienced. And now that I see it more, it's different. And I started becoming a pussy, too. Like, because, you know, we're out with Silas on Saturday night, and, like, it's like 9:30. I'm like, Brittany, it's Silas' bedtime. We got to get fucking home. And it's funny, too, because, like, you know, all the other parents were doing the same thing. And of course, everybody, all the single people, like, oh, why you... Everybody that was saying they're leaving, oh, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? It's time we got the kids. We got to go home and talking shit. And it's like, I remember being that guy.
I think what cracks, like, not fuck cracks up, but what it's mind-blowing to me, it's like, you watch... both parents drinking, and then it's like, all right, you guys, we're driving home, and I can't, like, yeah, like Jazz and I will discuss, like, oh, you want to drink tonight? No, you can drink tonight. Like, well, and half the time it's like, well, if when the one that does drink will only have a couple of beers anyways. I mean, none of us will drive and then drink with the kids, and not even fucking a quarter of a beer. So it's like watching parents drive home with fucking drinking and driving. It's like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah. Oh God. Like last night, there was two parents there that were, like, I asked Brittany because I was like, are they driving home? Because we left way before them, and she's just like, I don't know. And I was just like, after we got home, it was just like watching a couple people like that drink and knowing that they might go home with a kid. Like, whoa, that's, I don't know, just I hate saying shit like this. It just makes me feel douchey. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, once I've gotten a real look at things and I see things for the way they are, like I actually wish I was smarter when I was drinking. You see all these dumb mistakes people make, and then going back to how I was, like I never really saw the mistakes.
That's the one thing I don't play around with, that I would never be able to live with myself. Because even one beer, you think, oh, that didn't impair my judgment. If something happened, you crashed your car, you would think about the entire time, would that have happened if I would have avoided drinking that one beer?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you drink a lot, you think you're sober off that one beer that you drink, but in reality, you're just your body's so used to it, you don't really know. You don't really know how it's really affecting you.
No. That's one thing, like, it sounds stupid, but I fight with all the time because I'm really good at talking myself into things. Like, or, like, you know, rationalizing to make something okay. And it's like I have to, like, actually take a step back. I'm like, no, is this really okay to do? Or are you just fucking making it okay for you to do?
Yeah.
It sounds stupid. It's like I have no self-control.
Fuck, you know me, how paranoid I am. I have to fucking overanalyze everything.
I don't know, Jazz. How do you feel about parents drinking around their kids? We all have done it.
I don't like it. I mean, I think maybe like one, it's not that bad, but if you're sitting there getting drunk and like keeping your kid up late, or, you know, like you're thinking, I don't know, I don't like it.
Or just putting that, you know, the name to the face of like your kid always, you know, like associating you with drinking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I remember that when I was younger. We were always drinking. Like, I would never want either one of our kids to ever say that.
To ever feel like, oh, yeah, just to remember you, like, oh, always having a drink in my hand or something. Or
well, it's like you and I at night, we won't drink until the kids are in bed.
Yeah.
It's not like we're hiding it from them. I just don't want them to associate us with drinking.
So, Brittany.
Yes.
I don't remember if you said anything, but being the non-parent, what do you think about parents drinking around their kids?
Drinking around their kids? Well, it's funny because being around that situation last night, I would have never really thought anything of it. But hearing your perspective and, you know, being with you and Silas, I would agree that there's a fine line. Like, if you're going to, you know, party, do games, like keg stands, all that kind of stuff, I don't know, it should be at a minimal around the kids. But honestly, a part of me is kind of like, they're going to do it when they're older anyways. One way or the other, they're going to, you know, be exposed to it.
Well, yeah, they're going to be exposed to it, but do you think they should be exposed to it in, like, a party atmosphere where, like... Because what I don't like is that alcohol isn't considered a drug. If you noticed, you have drugs and alcohol. Why is it drugs and alcohol? Why isn't it listed under drugs? You have, I totally forgot about the point I was trying to make. That's the weirdest thing about being recorded is you can't remember what the fuck I was just trying to say. What
you
were
were
saying?
talking about drinking around kids
Yeah,
and
I know
that
that.
party aspect, and why is alcohol not considered a drug? Why is it okay?
Well, no, because everybody... Okay, so in a party situation, we all think that drinking's okay because our society's made it okay. Mm-hmm. The one thing I do like about drinking is if you do it, you're not affecting anybody else. If I was to smoke weed around a group of people, I'm affecting all those other people
Like
with
right
my
now.
smoke.
Just kidding.
You're affecting me with your stupid e-cig.
Or even.
But why does that be considered two separate things? And because of all the lobbies, like, even cigarettes should be considered a drug, and they're not.
They're really technically not considered a drug?
No, they're cigarettes. You have drugs, cigarettes, and alcohol.
Well, that's lame.
All right. No,
Sorry, I went pee. What?
I think it's stupid how the fucking alcohol and cigarettes, alcohol and drugs is two separate things.
Yeah, that's retarded. I think alcohol is just as addicting as any drug that's out there.
Well, with the way alcohol is, it's one of the worst drugs out there. It's so everybody
It's more
thinks it's okay.
acceptable, yeah.
I mean, I really hate talking about all this because I feel so hypocritical. But like watching a friend's parents who are hammered at a party is like it's disturbing for me because had this never happened to me, I would have been one of those people.
Well, dude, that's how Jazz and I used to be with you. We'd always constantly talk. I mean, well, Jazz especially, like, talk to your brother.
Well, no, but like my friend, I mean, like you know, a friend our age and their parents, so like, you know, older parents, like, you know, in their 50s, 60s, and just shit faced at their kid's party.
A kid's birthday party?
No, their adult kids party.
Oh.
To where drinking's all totally okay, and so, but they're hammered walking around talking to everybody. It's like, I don't want my parent acting like that. I mean, we always got offended every time Dad was around and hammered.
I get offended by just me and Dad being here. Just him being hammered on me.
Yeah, I was the same way with my dad. You could always tell that it was like a similar story you guys were, or Jamie was telling me was my dad was having a moment because he'd been drinking, so you knew he wanted to get all emotional. So he would either be texting us or something, and then next thing I know, I'm like calling my sister. If Dad calls, don't answer. Like, he's just going to go on a ramble, rant, like, cry, all this emotional stuff, and we would never answer his calls.
That's fun. That's
All
what we do.
because
Yeah,
he
we'll
was-
throw each other
all
texts.
because he was drinking.
Little warning.
And you could tell, like, there was those moments you could tell in his speech that it was just because he had been drinking.
Yeah, I could tell with our dad within like 3 beers. I'm like, yep, not answering that one.
Now you say that, I totally forgot we used to do that. 'Cause we used to do that a lot, where one of us would text the other one, like me, Ryan, and Trisha, always.
Yeah.
It was always like one of us would pick up the call and then warn the other two, like,
Yeah.
don't answer Dad's call, he's shit-faced.
Usually I'm the one that got suckered into it because my sister has always had more to go back and forth with my dad. I've kind of always just been the one that just kind of either stood back or just didn't give two shits to really get into it all.
Well, her sister's the older one.
She sheltered me a lot from a lot of things growing up. So in a way, best sister ever for doing that. But at the same time, like, she had to deal with a lot more.
Yeah.
It's a trip listening to her and her sister's stories because they're so close in age. To where, like, me and you had 2 completely different childhoods.
Yeah.
Just being because we're so far apart. And we're not even that far apart. We're 4.5 years. But we grew up with 2 separate generations almost.
It's still a lot of years, though.
I mean, me and Megan are 14 months apart.
When you get older, it's not that bad, but when you're growing up 4 years, that's a significant age difference.
I feel like it wouldn't be only. I don't know why, but with me and my sister, 14 months, it seemed bigger because she was never wanted me around. She never didn't want me hanging out. I'm like 14 months, so like we're pretty close in age that you think would be somewhat on the same level, but no, we weren't.
Yeah, you're still siblings. You don't.
No, I know.
You still want to be
You're still
independent.
yeah, but I would think when it's a brother 4 years younger, it's like it's that little brother, like actual little brother, where you kind of
Not really. We didn't get close until he was 18.
Yeah, I hated him growing up.
Yeah, Megan hated me growing up, and it wasn't until I think out of high school that we started getting close and been best friends since. But it's just funny growing up how you can hate each other so much. She would mentally abuse me, and I would physically abuse her. I have a pen mark on my hand still from when she stabbed me with a pen or pencil. And then she actually caught me off guard one day. It was in our kitchen. We were probably like 14, 15, maybe 16. We were fighting, and she's mentally, like, she's just spouting out words at me. Next thing I know, I go to, like, kick her. She grabs my legs, flips me up, and I fall straight back on my back on a towel floor. And I was just completely shocked because I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. It's my job. But, yeah, and then growing up now, it's like I was living with her. We were working together. She was my supervisor. It was just, it's crazy how things change.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother is 16 years older than me, so
That's a big
I don't
difference,
even remember being around. Yeah.
Well, you remember him flexing his whitey tighties, though.
I remember like little things like that. Like
You gotta call the one embarrassing story I know.
Yeah.
Hope you listen to this, Ernie.
And same with my older sister. Like I remember my sister. She was the one that really like took care of us. Like she was kind of like, in a sense, like our mom. Because when she would go out on dates with my brother-in-law, she would take us along with her. Like everywhere she went, we had to go with her because my parents were always working. But other than that, yeah, like I never really had. I don't know. It was just different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
guys had,
definitely
like,
different, yeah.
Your siblings were more like aunts and uncles.
Yeah, like it's so different.
Because even Sandy now feels that ability or that
Like motherly towards you, right?
yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, she feels that she has to like look out for you almost. That
Yeah.
what's the word
Motherly?
No,
Yeah,
not
it's
motherly.
that's
not what I'm looking for, but yeah, basically, yeah, motherly.
and I mean that's kind of, I guess it's kind of how I look at her too. Because I mean that's
Like, but Jasmine will take like, cause she literally looks at her like a mom. So if Sandy
Yeah.
says something, Jasmine like, that's the way it has to be. I'm like, no, it's not. So I have to like come in and like, we'll like talk about what like she agreed with her sister on, and I'm like, let's talk about this because you are also an adult now, and you don't need to listen to everything your sister says.
Well, that's what you grow up with. It's kind of
Yeah,
just how you're in
it's-
tune with things. I mean, it's hard to probably grow out of that, huh?
kind of is.
Once you get into adulthood, though, you should be able to differentiate. Like, all right, what advice should I take? I know what works for me and what doesn't work for me.
You learn. I mean, it either takes somebody or you learn on your own. It's just how life is.
It took a while for me to get over that too. Those people that, as kids, were like superior to you, or not your superiors, but your whatever.
Elders?
Yeah, kind of in a way, but just someone who has
Seniority?
sure, whatever. I took that into adulthood too. It took me a long time to go, okay, no, like, we're more equals now. Like, I've become an
Yeah.
adult too. Like, I've had my own experiences. I can compare with what you're telling me and go from there. But yeah, it wasn't until my late 20s I started like actually like, okay, no, I need to like not listen to you because your advice is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Sandy's stupid. Sandy's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah, I get what you mean.
yeah, the point that I was trying to make was basically like, yeah, once you get into adulthood, you really need to examine what people are actually telling you and what works best for you. If the advice they're giving you, if that really works to your liking, then sure, take it. But if it doesn't, then just because they're older than you doesn't mean that they're right.
Yeah.
I think it took Jazz a while. Now she's not like that anymore, but it took Jazz a while to grow out of that. It's like because she was older than her, then it's almost at that state like, oh, she knows what's best for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
it's almost like at some point you have to realize, all right, I need to do stuff on my own and figure out on my own what works best. And you kind of make your mistakes and then you learn from it in a way. Instead of having someone there to tell you. That's my whole thing growing up was I I couldn't take someone's advice. I had to, if I knew it was wrong and someone was telling me, oh, you probably shouldn't do that, or, you know, you shouldn't date this person or that person, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do it anyways, because there's no way for me to really know until I fail at it. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not going to learn.
Yeah, but your failures take a long time to figure out.
They do.
5 years later.
It's very
You're wrong.
true.
Like, it took me 8 years to figure out my shit, but...
Well, yeah. I feel like I missed out a lot from it, but, you know, it is what it is, and I'm here now.
That's what's nice though. Those profound experiences. Like you take so much from it. I mean, I don't know. At least for me, like when I mess up bad, I'm like, wow. Like, all right. I think some of those big screw ups are needed to improve in life.
Yeah. Well, it was hard for me at first because it was almost like you didn't want to accept the failure, and you kind of didn't want to be the one to beat yourself down about it. And in a way, the ego kicked in, and it's just kind of like, no, like, you know, I couldn't have failed or couldn't have done anything wrong here. It wasn't me. But then you really look at it, and it's, yeah, I know. You have to tell yourself, you did this wrong. You fucked up here. That was the big part, was being able to actually admit to the failure, admit to what you did with being a mistake.
Yeah.
Slowly getting there. Still working on that part.
It sucks when you feel that way. Doing the... It is weird, though, because, like, how many of your friends that are super interesting have you met that had a, like, awesome childhood where everything was perfect? Because you need those...
Yeah, no.
Those shitty experiences or those failures to...
I don't... Do you know anyone that's had a perfect life growing up like that?
I've had friends that think they have when they talk about it. I'm like, whoa. Like,
yeah, no, I don't know if I can sit here and think of anyone I've met that's had somewhat semi-normal or a perfect life growing up. I don't know if I can think of anyone.
Was that because you only want to deal with interesting people?
No, just I don't. When it comes to making friends with people or talking to people, like it's not because they're interesting. They could be really boring, and I might still hang out with them just because, you know.
I'm just saying, fucked up people are more interesting.
No, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying in general. Even those people that weren't interesting, it's never really found anyone that was like had a perfect upbringing.
I think it's nice to be able to be honest with yourself and know that you didn't have a perfect upbringing. Also, say, like, oh, my parents were perfect. I don't know.
I'm really curious as to what that kind of lifestyle would be. Perfect parents, childhood.
I think it's possible. I think there's no 100% right way to raise your kids. I mean, you're going to make mistakes. That's the way it is. I'm going to try my hardest and stress myself out, though, on trying to be that perfect parent. I'm never going to meet the quota, but I'm going to try my hardest.
All you can do is try.
Yep.
Jasmin wants to say something.
No, I was just going to say, well, I'm going to say,
I can see her going to raise the mic, and she
She's
brings
like,
it back down. Oh, maybe it wasn't that interesting. I'll bring it back down.
No, I remember thinking, like, our childhood wasn't that bad, and I still don't think it was that bad, but then the one thing about it was just that my parents were never there, because to them it was like they just wanted to provide everything for us. Like, they never wanted us to worry about anything.
Like, always working, always...
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's just so... But with that, we were always on our own. Like,
And
we
you
were
didn't
always
have
home by
parents
ourselves.
there.
Our parents were never there.
Yeah.
But then, like, I never really even realized that until, like, later on. Like, oh, wait, like, my parents were always working. Like, I was always by myself. We kind of,
Yeah.
like, raised ourselves in
Yeah.
a sense. You get what I mean? It's just...
It sucks, though, too, because I always look at, like, Jasmine's parents when she says those things, like, I get that, but then say I feel bad for her dad. Her dad came from nothing.
Yeah.
Came over here, like, literally illegally, came over here and, like, just built up a business from the ground up, and now he's successful. And that's mind-blowing to me. Like, you came over here and nothing in your pockets. So it's like, for him, like, he wanted to just give his kids what he never had, and he succeeded. Like, he literally came over here and lived the American dream. And I think that's awesome in a whole other sense. Doesn't make it, like, right for what he did, no, but it's pretty damn amazing at the same time.
Yeah, there's a fine line sometimes. It's not
Yeah.
obviously going to be 100%, but when
Yeah.
that's the lifestyle you have and you're going to try to make the best, and they're there just to work 24/7 to make the lifestyle for you, I mean, it's like a parent in my eyes.
In a way, it sucks because you have to be present as a parent, and not
Yeah.
being there,
Yeah.
like, you do get a sense of abandonment from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Or to say most people would get a sense of abandonment from that. I mean, regardless if they provided everything you wanted, materialistically, emotionally, you're not getting, as a child, you're not getting your needs met.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, you got to look at it, you know, in a standpoint almost as her dad, like, who grew up with absolutely nothing. So he was like, in his mind,
Yeah,
he
'cause
didn't
he was-
realize being there
Yeah.
was gonna. I mean, not being there was gonna affect her also. But at the same
Yeah, 'cause
time,
he's an excellent provider.
exactly. But that was his point. Is as long as I can give my kids
Yeah.
everything that I never had as a kid.
How do you think it would have been if your dad was there or your mom were there? Like, more.
I really don't know. I mean, I still don't really think like it was a bad.
But yeah, no, not that it was
childhood or
bad, but like
anything.
if that lifestyle was different, where they were around more often. Now, do you think that would have been nicer to have?
I think
or-
maybe we'd be like a lot closer.
Do you think that's why
That's
your
what I
mom
think.
is the way she is with her grandkids?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
How is she with the grandkids?
Extremely spoiled. Like, oh, the kids are like beyond spoiled.
Yeah, she never puts them down.
But I mean, that's why she wants so much time with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you got something going there.
Like my parents will do anything for those kids, like all
Yeah.
of them.
Hell, even when Silas is there, the way she treats Silas.
Yeah, even Sai. Yeah, they're very hands on. Like they keep them so busy all the time. Like you can just see the love that they have for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, even your dad, though, he gets so excited when you guys just come down and spend a few hours.
Yeah. Like to them, like a perfect day is having all the kids there.
in the house, just
Yeah.
hanging out. Yeah, I think that's any parent's dream.
Yeah.
Getting
and-
all the kids at one spot at the same time, not like half the children one weekend, the other half.
Yeah. It's hard doing that when you got bills to pay. Getting together with everybody.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't remember having all these things to do before. Like every weekend, there's some family thing to go do, something to.
I keep trying to
Every
catch up, but then I've
weekend.
came to the conclusion now that now that I have two of them, I'm never going to catch up on time. I keep thinking, oh, maybe next week I'll have time. It never comes though. Just the way it is. Once you have kids involved, you're always going somewhere.
Especially two. They always thought one was hard, but two definitely.
Two.
I don't know how people do with more than two. I don't. I really don't.
Oh god, I was at the store buying a new car seat for Silas because I gave Sabrina one of my car seats. And so I was my new one, and a lady walked up in the same aisle, and she had 3 kids with her, all under 5. And I just looked at her like, holy shit, how the fuck do you handle that?
I look at that shit like it's an impossible scenario that I have to. I'm like, there's no way. Like oh god, it's mind blowing. Like or people that are like that have 2 kids. Like yeah, we want to shoot for 5. I'm like, dude, do you hate yourself?
Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
just seems like an impossible. Maybe because I have a small house though too. That's like also what I think about too is like size wise too. Like it's everything. It's just like my house is so tiny.
Putting
It's
so many people in one small
Yeah.
house is just going to make it that much worse.
Maybe it wouldn't be that bad if I was a stay-home mom. I would have another one possibly.
fuck how with somebody else. I have a vasectomy, woman. I'm pregnant. It's not mine.
Well, guess what?
You guys want to wrap it up? Keep going.
I don't care.
Jasmine, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thanks.
Bert,
You're welcome.
Hey, I guess this is our public way of how everyone on Facebook will like, oh, I love you. This is our public way of saying we love you
yeah,
and thank you and
Very
we appreciate
romantic.
Very romantic.
it was
Oh, yeah.
romantic.
Thanks, guys.
We call you guys on something that we're passionate about.
you. Hey, what's
Supposed to
one
talk
thing you're
all
never?
about us. It's all about Jasmine
Hey,
and
we
Brittany.
could do 30 minutes on Jasmine and Brittany.
Go for it. I want to hear you guys talk about us for 30 minutes.
Let's
We
hear
hardly
it.
get to see you guys. We hardly get to talk to you guys.
Dude, I can go
Do
30.
it.
I can go 30 minutes
now.
Hey, but why? But you guys aren't talking.
We are. You guys do
Actually,
a lot of the talking.
Bert is talking. Jasmine's not saying a word.
You know what? That's fine. You guys already knew this was going to happen, so I pre-warned you guys, and hey.
I feel like I'm letting you guys down.
You are. No, we love you guys.
Yeah, we'll just never have you on again.
Fine with me.
All right, 29 more minutes. Come on.
I was just kidding.
I can go 30 minutes on.
Let's just hear. I want to hear you say 10 nice things about me.
I love the way you. I love how sweet. No, hold on. No. This is
Why
legit.
is he struggling?
No, I'm not struggling because you're. I'm embarrassed
it's so
now
unnatural for them to be nice or say things
Yeah,
nice.
he can't be
This
nice.
is the proof.
It's not in him.
because you know why? Because I'm so it's so brand new to me. I have to say one mean thing and then shower it with a nice thing.
So let's hear the 10 nice things, somewhat nice things.
Okay, I love the way how even though you're not a good cook, you try and cook every night for me. And you fail miserably, but it's so sweet. You know, I'm just kidding. No, I love what a good mother you are. I literally every day, it's something new that you do with the kids that is amazing to me. And then it just reassures on how I'm so happy that I picked you to be with. That's a genuine. That's something that I pay attention to every day. And I'm so thankful that like you're not one of those moms that like that need to go out and do something every week. You know, you're happy with just you want to do something as a family, and that means a lot to me.
That was kind of nice.
That was good. Okay, you can forget the 10. That one was good.
Hey,
no, I want to hear one more. Let's hear one more.
Hold on. Can you think of any like I have like a million things going through my mind that I love about Brittany, except it's all like things she does for me.
I'm a slave.
Like I feel like everything I was saying, I was like, dang, I love how like the little things you do for me, like that you like are thinking ahead for me, and like you'll make sure like my laundry's taken care of for the weekend, even though because I'll come on Friday night and be like I have nothing to wear tomorrow, and she's like I already did laundry. I'm like oh, cool.
Yeah, it's things like that though that you can easily come to take for granted. Like Jess does the same thing. Laundry, like I don't ever have to do my own laundry.
Well, I tell her all the time. She gets frustrated with me. Like when I tell her thank you for everything she does for me. Every time she does something for me, I always say thank you. She's like, you don't have to tell me thank you. I do it because I love you. I'm like, I know, but I don't ever want to take that shit for granted.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will say is that once the moment that you start taking that stuff for granted, I will not be a happy person. I don't care about the lifestyle, the being busy, you guys doing your podcast, and not being able to see you as much, all that. But the moment that you become ungrateful and not, and you take it for granted, that's when.
Well, that's why
shit gets real.
That's why I always tell you.
Other than that, I am perfectly happy.
Well, because she'll be like, you don't have to tell me thank you for that. I'm like, no, because you need to know that I am thankful for it. Like, you can't just, I'm not taking the shit for granted. I want that. I really just want you to keep doing shit for me.
Jasmin, I'll tell you one thing that I'll never take for granted is your cooking. Because you can stop that any day now, and I will not miss it.
There's the mean comment, right?
One nice comment?
One nice, one
Do we
mean.
want to?
What else do you have?
The one nice thing I have to say is how good you are to Silas. I find it amazing how you can come in and he's not your child. You have no responsibility for him, and you treat him so well. You are another mom to him.
Even as an uncle, I can appreciate you watching you interact with Silas. It's amazing.
Thanks.
And I can't wait for you to be the last name Mode.
Tell me it's so not neat. Awkward them being so nice.
It is. I was just going to say that. I'm like, this is really awkward here.
First of all, I'm nice to you all the time.
Really?
I might insult afterwards, but I give you something very sweet and then an insult.
Did you look like
He's
in
a Sour
bed?
Patch Kid. He's a Sour Patch Kid.
I don't want you,
He literally is.
But he does it backwards.
I don't want you to
First
get a
he's
big
sweet.
head, okay?
Then he's sour.
Really?
I'm helping you.
Helping her what?
Me.
I don't know. It just
You're
sounds...
definitely like her self confidence is like slowly going down.
Agreed.
That's not true. Jasmin knows she's hot.
It's so bad though. Like I halfway joke with her, and then like what I tell you? I was like, I made a comment. Maybe she should get in shape. And so she took it as like I was calling her fat. I was like, no, you're out of shape because you get tired easy.
No, what did I?
She instantly went to like, oh, you're calling me fat?
No, it was a comment he made, which could have been taken. Well, I knew you were being kidding.
No, I said she
sarcastically.
But I'll
Maybe
make
she
comments
gets
like
in shape.
that, but then deep down you're kind of insinuating something else.
Oh no, she doesn't need to get in shape.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you told her that she... No, that's not what I meant. But that's
Don't feel bad. I get it too.
I know.
That's what you mean, though. Deep down, you're insinuating something else. But you're like, no, that's not what I meant. But like, even though you're saying that, but deep down, you're like, no, I would
No,
definitely.
I'm joking because
There
I
was
need to get in shape
There was
too.
something I said. We were on the bed. I made a comment, and I totally walked into it, lined him up to say whatever comment you made. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe you
No,
should.
she set me up for a joke.
I did.
I could not have ended that
yeah.
without a joke.
I don't even remember what it was.
All that matters is that it was a joke and it was funny. But you
And that we love you guys
No, it
both
wasn't
very,
really.
very much.
Offended.
Jasmin,
All right,
you're so pretty.
You guys
You're
have
gonna age
like
much
8 more
better
to
than me.
go.
Hey, you guys don't say anything nice about us.
I think we show that already.
I think we do too.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
We watch the kids while you guys do the podcast.
Dude, it's 2 hours. We do it once a week for 2 hours. That's it.
Well, considering how much time Jeremy spends on editing on our
I
weekends,
do during the week though. I do most of it during
not all
the
the
week.
time. No, I'm not really complaining. I was, to be honest, in the beginning. I even mentioned it to him before you guys. After it was the first or second podcast, I did say I had a fear that this was going to start taking up every weekend. Now that I got it, now I had him back. I was like, this is going to become. I know I'm going to get irritated and frustrated with you, and it's going to become a problem because I know I'm going to be upset. That was going to be an issue every weekend. Free time.
Is this an issue?
Not now. And I slowly started telling myself that let me see how it goes. Like in the beginning, it was different because you guys were getting everything set up. figuring out your schedule.
Yeah.
Anytime
You know,
we talk to you guys, it was like, oh, well, the podcast this, that.
And who are we going to have on now? And then you guys, this and that. And
Or look at Ryan. I'm like, who are you talking to? Jeremy. Oh, well, we're trying to figure this out. It's like, okay.
you're like, hello, I'm right here. Talk to me. You can have a conversation with me, too.
Hey, see, you just have to sit down with us like this.
Apparently, this is the only time we really get to sit down and talk with you guys. So,
Hey, I like how, well, you've been talking, Britt, but Jasmine will love to talk about, like, her frustrations. Now we're talking about, like, podcasts and not getting free time. She's like, so now I have lots of things
right
to say.
now-
Stop, let me just tell you.
Now that I can vent to the world.
right now, because I think whether
Fuck
this
you,
goes on the
Ryan.
podcast or not, it's just fun to sit here and bullshit. I don't think we've ever actually been able to sit down and talk to you guys about it.
Yeah.
That is true.
So either way, okay, you still have like 8 more to go.
Hey,
I can
what?
go on and on about jazz.
She said like 10 things.
That was for Ryan.
This is all that we're asking.
How about
we don't ask for much.
how about I do pain in the ass things Jasmine does?
Oh, this is ought to be
That
interesting.
list won't end, and he'll like he'll say them
It'll be a
one
part.
after the other.
Hey, it'll be a part 2 of this
Do you
podcast.
have anything to ask things about me? Look on his face, maybe. If you
Look
do.
at Jazz is so like involved. She's
But,
like,
no,
yeah.
but do you see though how Ryan like totally got out of the 10 because
No,
he can only name 2,
Do you want me to keep going?
and even with the 2, it was like a backhanded compliment.
If the question was directed at you to say 10 nice things about him, would you find it hard to say 10 nice things? It's more or less, you already know what you enjoy and love about him. When it comes to actually saying the things, it might sound even cornier, but it's harder to say it.
Do you know how hard for it, or for us, it was to say nice things like that right now?
I know.
Why, this is awesome. Like, I said,
Like right now, your cleavage is just amazing. I've been staring at it for the last 15 minutes.
Okay.
See, look, you like that comment, really? I can go on and on. You want me to keep going?
Am I supposed to give you more?
Yeah, give me one more.
Yeah.
2 more.
Oh,
2
Rad,
more.
just give me one more. Actually, make it 2. Make it 3.
I like that you're not needy. Is that nice?
Ryan's gonna say I'm needy.
Yes.
No, because you are. You.
Is that a compliment, fool? The fuck?
I don't like it.
I like that you don't bother the shit out of me
Right?
with you, that you needing my time all the
You
time.
don't hang, yeah. You sit at home like a housewife, and you
I like
leave
that
me
you
to
have
be.
your own. You have your own shit to do. Your own things. You're very independent. That we get along well because of that.
It's also just because our schedules.
No, even if we spend. more
Dude,
time
Jeremy,
together.
try again,
that's
Paul.
true.
This shit.
You're
Try again.
right. Try
I'm
again.
buzzing you, dude. I'm buzzing you right
We
now.
need a buzzer. You guys need to like pull out. No,
Hey,
Trying
no,
to
hold
think
on.
of something that
Hey,
that's
this-
not,
Okay,
doesn't
I'm
involve
giving-
you
I'm
doing
giving you
shit for me.
time.
Hey,
You
no,
need
no,
to
Hold on.
create-
Hey, I think this needs to go back and forth. I want you guys to be nice about us.
No, fuck this one. This is how bad it was.
The
You
worst.
should have said, I'm glad that you don't need all of my time. I'm glad you can do your own shit and you don't bother me all the time. That's what it just sound like right now.
We wouldn't be together if she did.
Dude, Jasmine is one needy individual. Literally,
I'm so needy.
All
You
she
need
wants-
someone needy though.
all she wants to do
You
is be
said that
attached.
earlier.
What? I need a needy animal, not a needy human being.
Yes, you do.
That means you still need neediness.
No, because literally to do this podcast, it's difficult for Jasmine to let me have 2 hours. She wants to be attached to my side the entire weekend.
Always add another splitter. and
Because
give her
we
a
don't
mic.
spend like you
Exactly.
guys know our schedule
Yeah.
throughout Monday through Friday. It's him get home 6:00. I leave for work at 9:30. Come
with her
home,
on
he
it.
goes to work, and then he's trying to catch up on sleep during the weekend. So it's like we usually will have like one day to like really hang out. So if we don't hang out, it's kind of like
Yeah, Sunday is usually the only day we really get to hang out, but I have to go to bed early because I have to wake up Monday. Go to work.
You don't have to do that tomorrow.
I know, I'm on vacation.
No, like what I started doing was because we live so close to home. Is I come home for dinner, or she brings me dinner now, so we spend a little bit of time during
Slave.
the week for that. So it's like we had like 30 minutes to sit down and bullshit,
That's true.
and
Dude,
that is actually
stop getting
improved.
out of it, dude. Fucking what do you like about her? Fuck.
Well, I'm trying to think of something that doesn't involve her doing something for me.
if it was up to me, Ryan would be a stay-home dad.
Yeah.
Your open-mindedness is fucking awesome.
Well, I'd partially have you to thank for that. Granted, as you said, I was pretty sheltered, so opening my mind up wasn't that hard.
It was so funny. She told her mom. She's like, Jeremy says that I'm sheltered. And her mom's like, yeah, you were sheltered.
I was like, really? Because I never even thought of myself to be like that. But if I think about it, I thought maybe I was just a really antisocial kid growing up. I was overweight and have a picture where I'm wearing earmuffs and it like look like a special child.
I can't wait to see this picture.
I know.
It's so funny.
I really wanted
It's
to bring it
gross.
to show you because you get a crack out of it. From a chubby child to another chubby child when we were growing up. But
She showed it to me. All I could do was laugh.
All right, let's wrap this up.
all right.
Ladies, thank you guys so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys.
We love you.
Spending the time with us.
Yep, no problem. ModeCast out.
ModeCast out.
ModeCast out.